Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realnesss with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, here with my lovely co-host, Tamika. How are you doing this Saturday, Tamika?
I'm good. I'm in the AC. It's pouring outside, so lazy Saturday it is.
It's raining this morning, but it's not raining now, but it's like really not pretty outside. I don't know how hot it is because I do have AC, so I can't tell the heat, but it's kind of overcast. It's not really great weather outside here as well.
Yeah.
Well, if it's your first time here on Realnesss, well then welcome. We are happy to have you. Please subscribe and join our tribe of people that enjoy reality TV. So today we're talking about Love Island, season 3, USA episode, I think it's episode 8. Am I correct?
Yes.
Episode 8. We already have someone hanging out with us. Hi, Reggie. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Mary. Happy Saturday. So we start off this episode, we see Isaiah's lifting up Amy kind of awkwardly, and then I think they end up sitting on the beanbag chairs, where he's talking to her about how he had conversations with Roxy, and then everything that happened last night, with all the kissing and all the sexual positions with Cash, and he's still interested in her, apparently, and that she's really beautiful. So I feel as though he was always going to be picking Cash, but he had to make it seem like he was picking other people. What do you think?
I think he was torn between Roxy and Cash.
Yeah, torn?
I don't think when let me see, timing wise, I think when Cash pulled him for the bedroom scene and then the kiss, I don't think he was torn until the next day when
she did her little dance.
Yes, when Roxy started getting more aggressive and more forward with what she wanted in the villa. Basically, just the timing of things, I think, worked in Cash's favor in this case. She picked the right time to go after Isaiah. She picked the right moments for it to be her, because I mean, most of that was them being really intimate or just like alone. And whereas Roxy picked the wrong time to be.
I mean, if you're coming in as a bombshell, you have to come in right away with that energy, because like you won't be able to match people that have been in there longer and have just connected for a little bit longer.
Right.
So, hi, Carolyn. So, Carolyn says, I hope that Isaiah doesn't end up like Caleb, fingers crossed. I mean, I don't necessarily think that they're going to be a lasting couple. I'm not really sure. But I just don't feel that energy in general from Isaiah. It's kind of like the Connor situation from last season. Like, it's just kind of like Jeremy. I just don't know if he's got that, you know.
I don't get player vibes from him.
I just don't think that he's like that forward, and I don't know if that spark energy is going to happen to be a lasting relationship. I just don't know.
Which is why I don't think he ever really fully went for Amy, because Amy wants someone forceful, which she's not getting from Jeremy, but that's also not Isaiah. I think Isaiah might have been interested in Cash, but again, Cash was with Cinco, because he said that. He's like, I really had wanted to talk to you before this, but again, she was with Cinco, focused on Cinco. What
would you care about Shannon, though? He pulled Shannon for a chat, and she was very focused on Josh. He pulled him for two.
Yeah, and I think that also made him learn a lesson, because I think he pulled Shannon because Shannon's his type. And then he realized when she started doing things that his type is always doing to him, he's like, maybe I should go against type, right?
We'll say fingers crossed, but I'm happy that, spoiler alert, he does choose her in the end, but I don't know if they're going to be the winning couple.
Yeah, I definitely don't know if they're going to be a long-lasting couple, but I keep telling everybody, I think this is a wait and see situation. They might fizzle out after a week.
I think so. I don't think that they're going to be lasting, to be fair, but I'm happy that he gave her a chance.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Love. Hi, Reggie. So I'm just happy that Cash stayed. Exactly. That's what we're all want here. Hi, Netha. Thanks for jumping across the street. Hello, I'm Jordan. Thanks for coming over from across the street. Hi, Sophie. Oh, Mom, we're not talking about the challenge, Sophie. These people in this group right now aren't talking about the challenge. I don't even know if they watch the challenge. Maybe they do watch some of it because there's going to be this season. There will be 2 people from Love Island season 2. So Jeremiah and Lauren will be on the challenge. But people that haven't watched it, it's not really something that you just jump into. Hi, MK. So, hey, I didn't like how Shannon looked at Cash and Isaiah kissing. I don't think she's, wait. I don't think she said anything out of love for Cash.
Oh yeah, I was not. I'm back to being off of Shannon. I have a lot of thoughts on how Shannon acted this episode. And yes, I agree. I don't think she came only from the way that she did things. I don't think that she was coming from a place of, Cash is my bestie. I want to protect her heart. She was definitely coming from a jealous place.
Yeah, I do think it's a jealous place and like wanting to be the star of the show. And so the fact that
and Isaiah dumped her, like he stopped paying attention to her. And so I think the fact that he switched focus so clearly to Cash also put her off, because I think she still wanted him to pay attention to her. She doesn't want him. It's same like with Trina and Cinco. Like you even see it in the laid bear. Like it was more of like she wanted him to pay attention to her, to feed her ego. I think Shannon and Trina are very similar in that case, that they need that ego boost to be the prettiest girl in the world, meaning all the men choosing them, and that right now that's not the case. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, so Shannon might be one of the girls that like is really good friends with Cash as long as she feels above her. As long as she feels like she's doing better, as long as she has more attention than she does. And I think that it seems to be that Olivia is better friends with Cash than I knew. She showed up a little bit more. Thank you for the compliments, Sophie. So Ms. Love says, Shannon is starting to make me side-eye her. She was hating because Isaiah stopped paying attention to her and was putting interest in chat. Cash. Hi, Big Greg. This episode made me start disliking Olivia. Don't play with Giovanni if you don't know. You are not really interested. Yeah.
Olivia is definitely the Mora of the season. I don't think she knows exactly what she wants. I think that she doesn't really want Giovanni, but she's okay with staying with him just to get to the next step, basically.
Not good. Hi, Z6. So what do y'all think about Jeremy and how his behavior with Amy somewhat mirrors what happened with Trina? I mean, I think that Jeremy is just not really great at being a relationship guy. Like he has the conversations, but he doesn't make eye contact when he's doing it. He's just like sitting straight. And she's like looking at him, and he's just sitting this way. And they like every once in a while, he like talks to her. But like, if you're really interested in somebody, you'd be making some eye contact. That's the bare minimum. You'd be looking at each other. I know they probably have to face out because of camera work, but like, they can figure out somewhere else to sit where they can actually look at each other, because they just don't think he's that into anybody.
Jeremy, I don't know what he's there for. But it certainly was not Trina, and it's certainly not Amy, because Trina was forward. He said that was the reason why he wasn't into her. Amy is not forward, and he's not. He's still talking about that he thinks they're more friends. I don't know if it's an insecurity, because well, not really, because Trina chose him, but maybe he does not like competition. And that's the way that he breeds it. I'm not sure. I just don't think Jeremy's a great guy.
he's just not good at dating.
No, not at all.
I voted for Cash and Amy for the date, and if Cash and Giovanni happened, I wouldn't be against it. They would be cute, and let's see what happens with Isaiah.
I just think her and Giovanni are too similar. I don't. Everybody keeps saying this. And then everybody was saying 2 things last night. Why don't Giovanni and Cash hook up? Cash and Giovanni have had, clearly, if you watch the Laid Bear episode, they've clearly had multiple intimate conversations.
Yeah.
They have discussed everything back and forth at you. If there was anything there, I think they would have explored it at this point. I also think they're just, Olivia said it. She's like, you are and Cash are basically the same person in two different genders. And that is exactly what we got in the Laid Bare episode, where they had a conversation about their sexuality and their sexual experiences. It's both very similar. They both are very in tune with their sexuality, their sexual wants, their sexual habits, and what they're looking for. I think, and their emotional health. So I think if there was anything there, anything like a little spark.
Well, no, okay. Let me just throw something in there in the mix here, though. The fact, though, that Giovanni has been actively pursuing Olivia, and I think that he doesn't want it to necessarily look like he has interest in other people, to show that, like, hey, like, I'm only interested in you, could be another reason why he did not pursue Cash, and then another reason why Cash didn't pursue Giovanni, just because he wouldn't want to upset anything that could have been a potential for her good friend Olivia.
Right, which is why it would be a Giovanni's issue then, not a Cash's. This is what people keep saying. They're like, why doesn't Cash go after Giovanni? Why? Why would she? What is he giving her to say that there's a door open there? And especially if Olivia is her best girlfriend, in based on what they're saying, her best girlfriend in the villa. Does that make sense? That's like saying that, oh, Johnny and Justine had a great vibe last season. Why didn't she go after him over, even though Sally and him were together the entire time? And the same thing with Leanne. Like, everybody was mad because she went after Cinco and didn't go after Giovanni. And I'm like, but what in any place? Like, I've watched 2 back-to-back episodes, plus the other episodes that we watched where Leanne came in. Where did Giovanni ever say he was interested in Leanne or open to Leanne? He's always said Olivia.
Exactly. So I don't think that maybe it could be one of those, like, Olivia dumps him, and he's heartbroken, and Cash consoles him, and then maybe they realize, like, hey, like, maybe we should do something, like, maybe we should get together.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. She's not going to let Giovanni go home. I could definitely see that, them coupling up maybe at first as friends, and then if they're like, well, let's try, I can definitely see that. But I don't see any basis for them just coming out of nowhere and trying to be a couple at this point at all.
Me neither. I don't see that either. Not right now.
And they're not compatible. He's a Leo and she's a Capricorn.
So Giovanni, like you mentioned it a little briefly, but has a conversation with Olivia, and she's saying Cash is her best friend, and she's so much fun, and he's so much like her, so similar. And Giovanni is like really kind of laying it on thick with her, and I'm like, I'm happy that he's still trying to pursue her, because like this really should have been a no a long time ago, And so they end up kissing, which was like, I think she liked it, and like it's kind of like, when the white woman goes to like, some country and like just is like letting herself be free, I feel like he does allow her to be a little bit freer than she is normally. And maybe that scares her, that he's just so different and unfamiliar. So I'm hoping she just allows herself to go with it, and she's actually interested in him and not forcing it because he's being so persistent.
Well, she says that she never thought to look for a best friend, someone to bring out her fun side in a relationship. She's always more looked for a father figure, which I think is kind of telling, because why are you searching for a father figure? What happened in your life that you feel like you have to search for someone as a father figure? Because I feel like if it's for protectiveness, I based on the conversation we see later with Giovanni and Cash, I think Giovanni's very protective of the people that he cares about.
Definitely. You saw that definitely in this episode. He was very, very nurturing. Yeah. Especially Jeremy and Amy, and this is where I was saying, like, he wasn't even looking at her talking, and they're happy with each other is kind of what we learned. Like, I'm happy with you. I'm happy with you. And I can see like in Amy's eyes, she just wants more. She's like wants more, not reassurance, but like just more from him. He just saying like, I'm happy with you. Like that doesn't mean anything.
Boring. And I have a note in here, like, I wonder if she wants just passion, because I'm not seeing anything here, like nothing between them. Like, he says that they have such good vibes, they're so close, he feels like he's known her forever. And I'm like, okay, that's nice, but what are you giving? Like, what are you giving? Because that definitely sounds like a friend.
Yep. We get along. Okay, like, are you into me? Like, do you want to, like, because one thing that's a trope of the British version is when people really get into pretty serious couples, like they do, like, will you be my girlfriend type thing. I can't picture him doing any of that, and it's like quite basic, you know, like.
No, I don't see him. I have not seen what he brings to the table, and he has been with two totally different energies. And as I mentioned to you when we were texting, that I get it now why he like kind of was dead on Trina. I don't agree with the way he acted, but she was very sexually forward from their first evening conversation, and you could just tell it scared him off. And then they had to do all these sexual games, and she was very possessive with him in those games.
Trina.
But Trina, yeah, that's what I said. Amy, on the other hand, hasn't been like that. She's been allowing him to show her what he's gonna give her, allowing him to move at his own pace, still exploring with other people, but telling him, you're still what I want. So it's not been any sexual forwardness. They're having conversations in bed. So I am confused at Jeremy and his point at this point.
He's boring. I don't know if he's into women or into like dating or into relationships. Like, I just don't, he just doesn't give a vibe of anything. Like, I don't know where they find these men in the States that just are kind of asexual. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be all over somebody, but there's an energy that happens that, you know, if you're interested in someone, you give off a certain energy. You can tell when someone's into you. And I think that that's what's happening with Amy, is like, she can't tell that he's into her. That's what I'm feeling about Isaiah. I can't tell that he's into Cash. I'm wondering why. It's in the water. Something in the water. I want it to be clear. I want them to know. So Olivia goes back and tells the women in the dressing room. He's like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I can't stand him. And then all of a sudden I'm making out with him. And people are like, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, I just wonder if she gets like the tingles and like the flutters when she kisses him or not. Because if she doesn't, then she's probably just forcing it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think she wanted to just stay another week.
Probably. Amy are talking about Isaiah before bed. And like, I see the way that Cash is handling, you know, Isaiah, interested in Amy, interested in her, talking about, like, she's quite respectful. So the fact that everything went all sour with her and Trina, it was just solely on the fault of Trina and Cinco, that like, because like she's so respectful and kind, and it's the fact that she was the one that ended up getting hurt in that situation is just very frustrating, because she does everything that she can to not get hurt.
Well, I think, like you said, it's because it was Trina, and apparently it was because it was Cinco as well, because I watched a reel that they did on IG. So they did a reel of each of the OGs when they were coming into the villa, of what, like, they had to say what their bad habit was. And apparently Cinco's bad habit is bad communication. And we definitely saw that in this situation. He did not communicate with anybody on this situation well. We saw that in the Laid Beard episode. And then with Trina, you see how Amy is like, she goes in the dressing room after she had a conversation with Isaiah, and she's just like to Cash, he really likes you. And she's telling Cash, she's giving Cash a boost. She's not sitting there holding it back saying, oh, he said he likes me. He said I looked good today. I'm still really interested. It wasn't me with Amy. Amy was like, I still like him. He knows I still like him. He still likes me, but he really likes you. What you did tonight really turned his head. And I'm really glad that that's what you did, because you definitely should see where that goes. The entire time, Shannon is listening and silently staring at them with a weird look on her face.
Yeah, she's definitely has some jealous eyes going on, which is not good. It's not cute at all. I'm not happy with that side of her that's coming out right now. I want her to be not team Trina. I want her to be team Cash, and she's just, not playing that role as well as I thought she was going to play.
Right.
So I didn't jump Shannon. She wasn't paying any attention, and he got upset and stopped trying with her. Absolutely, definitely learned that. Hello, TA. Hello. Lila Cash was saved. Isaiah, something is off. We will see. Exactly. Giovanni and Corey are going to be brokenhearted. What do we think about
Florida?
Yeah.
I think she likes Corey. I don't think Corey's a hard guy to like. It seems like all the girls like Corey. Whether she's really sexually interested in Corey, it remains to be seen. Can she switch focus to somebody else if she feels like it? I could definitely see that as well.
So, I mean, it's none of our business, but we're nosy people watching this TV show every single day. And I'm just wondering, did Josh and Shannon have sex?
I don't know. Look like she,
Covers over the head thing. We know that was in contention last season with Johnny and Mercedes. The blankets went over the heads. You don't know actually what happened under there. And then the next morning, Shannon says, me and Josh got pretty frisky last night. So,
yeah.
Everybody's like, we heard.
Yeah, they were saying it was some smacking of the lips. I'm not sure if it was lips.
Oh! Tamika.
That's my opinion.
So Amy gets a text, and the girls are going to rev your engines for today's challenge. All lubed up. So basically they had to throw lube on themselves, go down a pole, go throw their man, cover them in oil, I think at one point too, throw their man down. They're all being hosed off by the men and kiss them on a pile of tires. So I'll just go through them. Like, Kira wasn't really that interesting. She was cute, but like whatever. Will thought she was more sexy than she usually is. But nothing.
He thought it was hot. I was like, okay. Like, it was all right.
Whatever. Like, Amy. Well, who was next?
Olivia was next.
Olivia was next.
Yes.
Olivia. Oh yeah, I wrote down second. Olivia was very sexual. She surprised Giovanni. I liked seeing a little bit like that side of her because she seems a little bit closed and reserved a bit. So it was nice seeing her dancing and moving, and she was pretty provocative. I was impressed by her as well. I wasn't expecting her to be that good.
Yeah. She did. I think she did a great job. It was actually surprising. And again, she pulled Giovanni, but again, I'm skeptical. How much of it was she's like, I really wanted to give Giovanni something because he's really been working hard. And I'm like, yeah, or how much of it is that you actually wanted to just stay on the show?
Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah, probably. Wait, what's this? Hi, Reggie. Okay, so Jeremy is a robot on vacation. Yep. So boring. Okay, so I'm kind of more so with you here, Netha. So maybe it's just me. I don't think that Shannon was coming from a bad place. Just don't like her having that combo in front of Trina.
Which is why I say she was coming from a bad place. Because if she was not coming from a bad place, if she was coming from a place where she cared about Cash, she would not have had that conversation with Amy, Roxy, and Trina. She would have had that conversation with Cash in the room.
Yeah, like to put doubt, to be like, oh, the guy that you like is not that into you. He's into all.
Exactly. It felt like she was laying the groundwork to make Cash upset at Isaiah so Cash would go home. Because otherwise, she would have, after seeing them kiss and all that stuff, she would have pulled Cash aside and said, listen, Amy said he said this. Roxy said he said this. You're telling me he said that he's saying the same thing, and then all three of them go, and if they're going to talk in front of Trina, that's fine. But I like compare notes after you talk to your girl. Don't compare notes first and lay the groundwork, and then come in afterwards and say, oh, we were just talking about the situation, because they got all quiet when Cash had to say what's going on. Cash had to say, you're talking about Isaiah. If not Cash saying that, I don't think they would have continued.
Maybe they would have, or like she would have gotten it out of like Amy.
Right.
Amy was there, right?
Yeah, Amy was there. What I'm saying is but this is about Shannon. I don't think that Shannon was coming from the correct place. Otherwise, she's pulled Cash before and had conversations. While all of a sudden that she could not have that conversation with Cash. Why are you hardcore staring them down? And her point made no sense. And I'm going to tell you why when we get to the conversation.
Okay. Hi, Divine Me. Good afternoon. Happy for our girl Cash, absolutely. And I believe Isaiah's into her. We'll see. Especially after the warning coming from Cinco. What's warning? Did I miss that?
It was in the laid bare. Oh no, it was after the loop. He warned him.
What did it say?
He said, the one thing I regret is not being impressed.
Yeah. I didn't realize, I have it written down, but true.
Yeah. And he told him he's like, you need to make a decision. You need to make it quickly.
Big Reg says, I don't think that Shannon was coming from a bad place either, and definitely didn't get the jealousy thing when she was the one that didn't want Isaiah, not the other way around. I just think that she's someone who...
No, that's not true. He still wanted Isaiah to pay attention to her. He told the boys that he was not going to talk to her anymore. She kept saying to Josh and Isaiah, she was still open to Isaiah. Isaiah cut that off.
Giovanni and Cash are good friends, not lovers. Yes,
agreed.
True. Olivia's playing the game until the new guys come. It's cringy and uncomfortable when she talks down to Giovanni.
I agree.
Yeah, they might socially, like class-wise, not be able to do this. You know, she seems a little bit gush, as we were talking about in the other episode, the other Love Island. Olivia should be coupled with Jeremy. They can both leave.
I cross my fingers daily that happens so I could just do one dump in full when it's time for us to vote. Please.
Okay, if Shannon did have a problem with Cinco, she shouldn't have said anything about Isaiah. She was jealous.
That is the point I was going to bring in.
Yes.
That's the point I was going to bring in.
Because yeah, definitely she's kind of team Trina, and letting like that whole thing happen. So she's definitely been more respectful with how she's chosen to share information. So, and I have been seeing kind of jealous eyes in her. And what I'd said to Tamika when we were chatting was that she probably sees that Cash is the star and doesn't like that she's not the star of the show right now, and doesn't want it to be all around Cash and like her journey.
Yep.
So we have a bond. So Jeremy is not good at anything. Yeah, he's not my favorite. Hi, Jaquan.
You can't kiss. He ain't good.
So I really don't think that Olivia likes Giovanni romantically. I feel like if Slade, the new guy. I'm not into him at all, but I don't know.
I agree. I think that Slade. So there's two new guys coming in, Wes and Slade. And Slade, I think he is very like country. I'm not sure where he's from, but he seems like very all American, and I think she would go for him.
I don't know who. Like, I haven't thought about it, but I just don't know if he has the vibe. Because did you like Weston from season 1?
Did I like him on season 1 or
yeah? Like, he's the only.
I liked him on season 1. I did like him on season 1. After season 1 and on Instagram, I have a few issues with Weston, but yeah, I did like him on the show.
I'm just talking about it in terms of him being Southern, because he's like he's the only Southern person that's been on the show, and Slade would be the first one, like after him, correct?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't see him fitting in personally, but I mean, I would love to see him come in and at least let Giovanni free. Let him feel as though he can pursue somebody instead of been trying with somebody and making a little bit of headway and then not, and then back and forth. Like, let him be free if you're not interested in him. And if Slade's interested in her, like, hopefully that will switch things up. And Giovanni doesn't go home. He's able to get swooped up by somebody. Oh my God, hopefully. But I just
protect Giovanni at all costs. Yeah, I'm with Z here. I can definitely see her saying, "Oh my God, this is it." Especially if he has that father figure vibes. He's, seems older or whatever. Not as playful, more serious. She might go for him. I could definitely see it. I
don't know if I even found him good looking.
Oh, he's not good looking to me.
You couldn't have your party, Jaquan. You are going to get hurt.
Sorry. I told you Cash is the star.
Okay, so Jeremy is so wooden, stiff, boring, brings nothing, and he's still there. Why? Because people think that maybe he just needs to come out of his shell. They give him so many chances because he's like kind of good looking to just aesthetically, but he doesn't bring anything else.
They think he's cute, and I don't get it. I don't understand it.
He's attractive. Like, he's not ugly. I hope there is a challenge that could match Amy and Will. That could be interesting. Ooh. Do you think that they can do Will and
I don't know. I could more see this happening. I can more see hi Ty. I can more see Amy going to Isaiah, Olivia taking Jeremy, and what else?
So Taisha says, haven't watched the show, but definitely going to check it out now. And honestly, it's been really good. Thanks for joining us here. There's been a lot of diversity, the most diversity in a show like this there's ever been on network television in the States. So it's a good watch. It's interesting, like, in the sense that it's kind of junk food. It's not that serious. Like, it's quite glitzy, and you have a narrator that's like making fun of the people. Like, it's just it's an easygoing show. It's not that serious, but sometimes serious issues come up when we start noticing patterns with, like, the Black woman not finding any matches and stuff like that. So that's where kind of the serious talk comes into play. But in general, it's a lighthearted show. It's kind of like I was saying on the other stream. It's like, Jackie Collins books. Like, they're not serious, but they're fun. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of glitzy and fun. Sam says Corey's not forward to me. Florida will jump ship. Yeah, she's jumping ship. I don't think
you don't have to be forward though. But if he's a good partner, like if he lavishes her and
lavishes forward.
Really, you think lavishing?
Pursuing someone. I just don't see him pursuing Florida, like, in doing what she. It's kind of like Jerry doesn't pursue Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't like show his interest. I think that's what Sam is meaning by forward.
Okay, forward to me means like passionate sexual for, not necessarily.
I mean, it could be that, but I'm just saying like forward as in like being very clear about intentions and interest.
I mean, he's been very clear since she walked in the door that she's the one that.
But in just talk.
No, well, I mean, on the drops and stuff, he's been kissing her. He's been picking her. For all the challenges. So I mean,
I just don't feel it. I guess I just don't feel it. So yeah. I appreciate him giving it a go, but I just don't feel it's a match. Okay, so I don't know how true this is, but I saw on a chat whilst watching the episode on Twitch that apparently Florida is the best friend of Corey's ex, so they know each other already. Oh, interesting.
I don't know how true that is.
Is there Love on USA Today? No, I still don't really understand the schedule. It's every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, Sunday through Friday.
Not Monday. Not Monday. I don't think
Monday. Monday the episode is on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So, and every other day it's on CBS in the States. That's it. Okay, Leanne definitely won. I don't really like the way they gave Roxy all the challenges just because she's not the prettiest there, but I do like how she felt after winning. I don't.
Leanne won. I agree. I think Leanne did the best.
Oh, with the actual challenge.
Yeah. I think Leanne did the best. I think it was Leanne and then probably Cash.
And then maybe, I mean, just it was shocking when we saw Roxy. Yeah. Everybody said that she was the most surprising.
Yeah, I think it was just that she surprised them because I think she's just been sitting in the villa quiet, not saying anything, talking to Isaiah.
Mm-hmm. Amy wasn't that, she was okay. She kisses Jeremy. Obviously, we were expecting that. Florida was okay. She did kiss Corey, correct? I didn't write it down.
Yep.
Assumed. Apparently, though, Trina questioned her sexuality when Shannon came down and was doing her little act. I was like, I don't know. I felt like they've been trying to make us like Trina more with how they've been showing her these last two episodes.
What did she say that about Shannon, or she said about Olivia, or did she say it about both? Because
did I say Shannon? I meant Olivia.
Okay, yeah. She said it about Olivia. I personally feel like Trina got the man and now she's trying to steal the friends.
Yeah, she's trying to make them like her more than Cash.
Yeah.
So Shannon, I can't take her those super aggressive kisses that she seems to like to do. I can't watch them. I don't think that they could look good. They could be good. Like, I don't understand the rhythm of it. Like, it's just does not look like it would be good. So I'm sick of seeing that weird kiss from her. Cinco, I like her little Cash fake out, or Cash does a little Cinco fake out before she pulls over Isaiah. And I saw her twerking a little bit on Mr. Man after the kiss. So I thought that was pretty...
I think she put a little extra in it with the kiss. Like, a lot of the girls, they just grabbed them and climbed on top of them and kissed. And I feel like Cash used more of her body in it, which is why I said I think she was second. But Leanne's whole performance in total to me was way better than Roxy's.
Definitely. She seems like she's either a dancer or like has had like training. Like she was doing some moves, you know. She wasn't just like being like, I'm worth it. Like, exactly.
But Roxy said it was the eye contact, so maybe that was it. But so like Leanne was only giving, she said, I was only going to give eye contact to Cinco because that's who I wanted. So
Trina did the same thing though.
Did the same thing. Yeah.
Locked. I mean, it was a good move for her to bust open her shirt. Fine.
That was what she did to me. That was like, I think I was like, so the only thing that set her apart was that she actually ripped open the shirt.
But like, to be fair, like, I know we're judging people on their looks and stuff like that, but I don't even think that Trina's that hot anymore. I think that her actions have maybe been like, you know what? Like, you just have like a really good face to put makeup on because the whole package is actually not that great
She's beautiful, but the whole package, she's not beautiful inside, so it makes the whole package look rotten. And I will say, I don't think she looked good during the recoupling. So we'll talk about that later.
Brutal. So Leanne, I thought she really had a sexy performance, so she chose a Cinco to kiss. And Roxy, when she was considered to be the most surprising, she also chose Isaiah. And then Trina, whatever, chooses Cinco and does a super aggressive kiss that doesn't look good. Like these really weird aggressive kisses don't look like they would have been good at all.
And quiet as it kept, I think Cinco liked Leanne's performance better. He definitely seemed to. He said that he really liked it, and she brought it. And even when he talked to the guys later, he basically said, he's like, well, Trina was Trina, but Leanne brought it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So after the challenge, they basically say that Roxy wins, and I think it's, as we've already mentioned before, is because it was so surprising that she would have stepped out of her comfort zone that much. So you see the boys chat after, and this is where Cinco gives the advice to Isaiah that you were mentioning before, where, to be more upfront. So at least he's learned a lesson of some sort to keep people, tagging people, stringing people along is not effective if you want to keep any sort of friendships with any of the other people. And so at least he's recognizing a little bit that he did Cash a little bit dirty.
Yeah. I think he only realizes that because she did what she did, which is broke the friendship in total. And we saw that in the late, I don't know if you got to watch the Late Bear episode.
I did, yeah.
So the conversation that he has with Giovanni about the difference between Cash and Trina, and how Cash is and Trina is and Cinco basically really wasted Cash's time, because even there she was like, that she was gonna take a shower with him, and he was like, he was gonna go do it, and Giovanni's like, then why are you here? Like, why aren't you in the shower with her? Why is this even a problem, between you two? And I think what happened with it is that he just was like, you know what, I can get the sexual part from Trina because I'm sexually interested in her, and I can still have my friendship with Cash because that is what
I enjoy.
Yeah, I have and enjoy. And when she cut that off, he realized big time how big that he screwed up, because I think he truly was he was intentionally either going to wait till the last minute to tell her, or he was gonna say, I went with this, but we can still be friends and we can still hang out, we can still talk, we just can't kiss or whatever.
So the next part was where some of the sad moments started happening, and she was talking about how she didn't really Cash didn't grow up pretty, and that she had to have a personality. And I think she was saying this to to Giovanni. And that's really saddens me. And I know where that comes, that feeling, because I went to all my schools. I went to being the only Black person in my school, never really ever being picked for anything. Always I was always really popular, and I went to all the dances, or I went to all the birthday parties, whatever, and I was always invited and included, but I was never anybody's first choice. So I totally know what that feels like, growing up and always feeling that you're not pretty, and that nobody's really interested in you. So I was feeling for her here, and then poor Cash cried herself to sleep.
So that, I think that was when she actually was talking to Isaiah before the whole conversation where the girls.
You are right.
Yeah. So that was when they see that this is the thing that why I also was upset. So Cash and them, they all got ready. She threw on Cynthia. She came with a new personality. She had a really good conversation with Isaiah. They made out. Shannon was staring at her hardcore, and then they killed her vibe the minute that she got back into the room. And then she cried herself to sleep because they basically made it seem like he doesn't really want her. And I feel they did it on purpose. Because my whole thing is, Shannon says that and I don't understand her timing, because she says that Cash told her the other day that Isaiah told Cash that he couldn't stop thinking about her. And I'm like, what other day? Because Cash, they literally both said they only had a conversation, like a real conversation the night before. So if you're saying what Cash told you the night before in confidence after their conversation, that was unfair. If then you're saying Amy said to you 2 or 3 days ago, he said that was the best conversation he had in the villa so far. Yes, because he just came in 2 or 3 days ago, and Cash didn't show him any play. Roxy wasn't there. Then Roxy says he said the same thing to her. Yes, because then you came in 2 days later and had a conversation with you. So I'm confused at where he was playing with people. If he's telling them something in a progression, he's not telling them something. They're not saying, he told me this morning I was the best conversation he's had so far, and somebody else saying, he also told me at breakfast that I was the best conversation that he had so far. Mm-hmm. And somebody else saying, he told me in the bathroom when I was brushing my teeth that I was the best conversation. That's playing with people. This is I met you one day, I'm interested in you. I met somebody the next day, I'm interested in her. I met somebody the next day who expressed their ability to want to get to know me, and now I'm interested in her. Meaning he's gotten interested in 3 different people, which we knew, in 3 different time frames.
Absolutely, and I do think that he stood up for himself quite well. I think that I appreciated when he said, like, "Oh my goodness, I wouldn't want you to think that at all." Like, everything changed between us after last night, and like that, it was a defining moment. Like having those he didn't say specifically, but like I'm assuming it was the kisses and all the sexual interest, like activity stuff. Like it allowed him to maybe be thinking her in a new light, and then they also have really good conversations. So I can see that there was a shift, and like. And I do feel bad for him that, like, just because of the way he looks, people automatically are going to assume that he's going to be a player or something like that, and like take his actions to look like they're not truthful. And I do think part of it was to make her feel a little bit bad and feel that though she wasn't going to be actually getting the guy. I do think that. But who is someone saying here? Jules says, "Oh, please, everyone isn't coming for Cash. My goodness."
We're not saying everybody's coming for Cash. I'm literally saying 2 people, Trina and Shannon. That's it. Nobody else.
Florida seems to see Corey as a little brother, low key. I can see that. Not everyone, just Trina. Yeah, exactly. Hi, JC. Why Shannon couldn't talk about Isaiah with Amy and Roxy there. Amy and Roxy was part of the conversation as well.
Because Amy and Roxy aren't supposed to be the person she said was her friend. When she was going through her stuff with Josh, who did she go to? Cash. Cash and her sat separately and had full conversations about what Josh did to her. Cash was sitting there begging her up to make her decision, and she made her decision. Why is it that Cash can't get the respect? And that is why she was crying. She's like, I think people are doing things to me because I'm too nice. And I agree with her. I think Shannon did what she did instead of coming directly to her as a friend and saying, I had this conversation with Amy and Roxy, and they're both saying he said the same thing to them, and then having that conversation with Amy and Roxy.
Exactly. And kind of as well, like, I wouldn't even want to talk about that out loud because wouldn't want to embarrass my best friend, right? Like if I heard something like about my best friend, I'd be like, oh my God, I need to go tell them. I need to go tell them right now. Like, oh my God. And like, I wouldn't say anything. I would just take in that information. I would go and tell my best friend, and then she can do what she wants with that information. Maybe go have a conversation with Roxy and with Amy and be like, what did he say to you? Like, this is what he said to me. And then, you know what I mean? But right. I would be wanting to save them the embarrassment if that something was shady was going on. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be broadcasting it to everybody. I know though also though Shannon has said a couple times in the last, like the Laid Bear and the regular episode, she was saying things like, we gossip all the time, like we're gossip, like we always talking. So it could be that she's just thinks that she's supposed to be doing this for the show, having these open conversations. So I'll give her a little bit of leeway there, but I do see that she's changed her tune a little bit with the amount of courtesy and care that she's handling her conversations with and without Cash. What did seem shady as well was that when Shannon brought it up, Trina was kind of at the far side, and then she walked in to join in and listen to this conversation that wasn't about her. That's when I was kind of like, if she was a good friend, she'd probably be like, oh, like she probably wouldn't want Trina to hear this. Like, you know what I mean? Like she would have just not stopped saying something or like cut it off there. But I did feel a type of way. There was something that was off about the timing of this and whatnot. And so I can agree for sure that it was a little bit insensitive and unkind of Shannon.
Yeah.
As a friend. I don't get the schedule either. I just checked the Home of Hollywood on Twitch to see if there are any updates. I really isn't like Tuesday to Friday, like Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 p.m. CBS, Mondays, 9 p.m. Paramount Plus, Friday, 10 or no, is it Thursday or Friday though for the Paramount Plus, the other one?
So it's Tuesday, the drops
at 11 a.m. though, right?
Yeah, and then I guess Paramount Plus on Friday. So last season they had that More to Love episode that used to come on Saturday nights. It looks like they moved it to Paramount Plus, and they've called it Laid Bear. But I think you also can get it on the CBS app at the same time. The Laid Bear episode. I
haven't seen the Laid Bear, like, well, I'm in Canada though, but I haven't seen that on TV personally. I haven't looked at the app to see if I can catch it.
No, because they were cursing. Remember, Cash said the P word.
Ooh, that's true. That's true. So that's what I think. I don't know. This is also new though with the drop and the Laid Bear. Like they're all just trying to utilize Paramount Plus. And with Paramount Plus, it's hard to say because they can drop it at any time. It's not necessarily a scheduled time. So I think it's live on Paramount Plus though at 9 p.m. for sure. I said I think for sure. I'm not sure personally what time the drops, and I'm not sure what time Laid Bear drops. But I know it was available on Friday when I looked for it. It wasn't hard to find. So you need Paramount Plus, and you'll know when it's on. I agree Shannon was being calculating and gaslighting, bringing up Isaiah in front of all the ladies instead of talking to Cash alone. Yup. They aren't. Oh, my goodness. Jewel, what do you mean? Well, how are you, like, not, like, it seems very clear to me that this is what's happening. Like I could definitely say that maybe, she was just trying to do something for the camera, but I do think it was calculated. And I don't think she has Cash's best interest at heart. Honestly, I'm very hopeful for Isaiah and Cash. I can see them together. Hope so, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
I thought Shannon was already having conversations before Cash came in and asked what they were talking about. Well, that's not what the issue is, though. The issue is the fact that Shannon said it in front of Trina, which is
my issue is not just that she said it in front of Trina. I'm saying that she was talking about Cash and Cash's relationship with Isaiah behind her back in front of Trina. Now, if she was just saying it to Amy and Roxy, like, so Cash said to me that he said the same thing he said to you guys, and we need to tell her, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. And then have the full conversation.
No, yeah, it's having the conversation about Cash, about something that was potentially unfavorable, right, in front of her, the woman that just stole her man. Basically. So she can say that she was open to Isaiah all she wants, but she wasn't actually open to Isaiah himself. She was always just with Josh, paying him no mind. Mm-hmm. People have been saying Trina is trying to alienate the other girls from Cash except Amy because they are very close. Seems like that to me.
It looks like that to me. I think she, especially when Leanne came in, it was so like there for cash. I think she alienated Shannon and Kira, not Olivia, because Olivia said Cash is her best friend there, and I think Amy, that's the same thing. They're very close, so it is what it is.
Catty girls can align. It's fine.
Yeah.
Jeremiah was Southern. Yes, he was. I like Jeremiah a lot, but he wasn't really on the show for that long, and he didn't really make any connections. So just curious. He was only cut because he knew he wasn't getting anywhere with Shannon. Yeah, Isaiah. I don't like how Olivia called Giovanni weird in a way that felt like she was talking down to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care for the I don't care for the relationship between Olivia and Giovanni. So.
I know. I agree. So Isaiah is still new to the villa. Why is Shannon trying to bring down his image? Probably because he didn't pay attention to her and trying to get her. Absolutely. I think it's combo. Hi, Jessica. An article that introduced the new guys said that Wes is into Amy and Slade is into Olivia. Okay, that's fine. I'm down with those couplings. So I think Olivia will dump Giovanni, unfortunately. I do.
Okay, so this is what I think. I think if Olivia jumps Giovanni and goes for the Slade guy, which I'm fine with, it actually works out in my favor. I think Isaiah goes for Amy. She dumps Jeremy. I think that Cash will pick Giovanni. Now, Wes,
what about Isaiah though?
Isaiah, he'll go for Amy. I don't see Wes and Amy.
I mean, I think Wes is really cute.
He's really cute, but he's also,
and he might have that forward energy though that she likes.
I have to see how his personality is. The man is whip smart. He's a Harvard grad.
He's young.
Yeah, he's young. He's African American.
To have graduated already.
Yeah,
it's pretty young.
Yeah, so I have to see how his personality is, but I can see Trina going after him actually.
Ooh, especially maybe if he's into Amy. Yeah. He's handsome.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's like a good bombshell in the world that he's going to come in and shake some stuff up. Yep. Does anyone think that Shannon is pretending to be interested in other guys so she doesn't come across as being too much into Josh like Kira isn't with Will? I don't think that she's very into Josh. I do think that she likes being pursued. I think that she likes having all the attention. I think she likes her being the one making the choice and decision if she wants to be with Josh.
Yeah. I think she likes being like, oh, we were one of the first coupled up and we had a blip, but we're the strongest couple next to Kira and Will. I think that's what she likes, which is another reason why I feel like she's scared that if Cash gets a strong relationship, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Florida is Corey's ex's BFF, or was at some point in time. His mom was the one who said it on Facebook. Oh, okay. So they might be a friendship couple then, unless to keep each other in the game.
Yeah.
Trina's going to dump Cinco as soon as one of these new men or even Jeremy begins to show her some attention. She is that girl. Remember, Cinco was her second choice.
I see it. I'm telling you. I think if
oh my God,
said her, Cinco's gone, and he already deaded the situation with Cash. He's screwed.
Bad moves, Cinco. CJ says, hi guys. Hi CJ. Jeremy was kissing Amy when they met and was into her. What happened afterward? Maybe I missed it. That's just his thing, is like he seems like he's into them the first day and then it completely pitters out as if they've been in a relationship for 30 years. Like, it's like, what happened? I don't know what his deal is. Hi, Charlene. Thanks for joining us. Okay, seem interested. I wonder how Florida feels about getting with her boy BFF's ex. Wait, is it? I thought it was the other way around. Oh, okay. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm curious. We should find her on TikTok or Instagram. Like, I'm sure there is somebody outing Corey right now, because it usually happens at like when they find out someone that they know is on, they spill the tea. So we should start looking. Chiquans, why do y'all say Trina's trying to steal friends? Because it's obvious. I think they all have their own relationships with each other and should be able to talk about how they feel. Listen, you're obviously not a woman and you've never experienced having relationships with women like any of these women, because what she's doing is she was all for cash before. Remember I was saying, like, I love their relationship together, and then as soon as this whole single thing happened, she completely started siding with Trina and started to, as we've been talking about, not allowing cash to be in a favorable light around somebody that has done, I would say, done cash wrong. And it's typical female behavior in this type of environment when men are involved and wanting to be the prettiest and be the top girl. And like, I do think that they want to have what Cash has, and that is the popularity because she has a great personality. And I do see that Trina's trying to gain friends because she's not really that interesting.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. This episode, what exactly did we see of Cinco and Trina?
They kissed, maybe?
Other than the the lubed up thing. Like, nothing.
No.
There's no conversation. There's no relationship. They were off to the side when Isaiah and Cash were talking. They were off to the side talking, but there's no substance there for them to even show on the show. And all Josh and Shannon are doing is being like all over each other, which they show. And then she's gossiping with the girls, which, if that's what she wants to do, that's fine. She can definitely have her own relationship, but don't sit there and portray it as if you and Cash were like the greatest friends, because I can have two different best friends and I would never sit there and talk about one's personal business to the other.
No, especially if they aren't close.
Right.
Definitely. The next conversation though that Cash has with Giovanni, oh my God, in the morning at the lookout, the little terrace, it was so, I cried in this moment. She's just like, I'm having a hard day. And I'm just like, I just don't want her to be feeling this way. You know what I mean? And some people were saying, because there's similar situations going on in Love Island UK, and it's like, well, maybe this particular person, Kaz, shouldn't go on the show. And it's kind of like, so because they can't cast people that are interested in us, like, that means that we can't have an opportunity to find love or to be on a national television show. So I was just like, no, we can't do that. She still needs to be here because I think that she's showing us that, like, she deserves to have this opportunity, and like, I want to see her love journey. But I really didn't like seeing her cry. It made me cry.
Yeah. Somebody online, I saw a comment that said they don't like Cash because she cries too much. And I'm like, Cash came in here, the most confident, beautiful woman with the best soul on earth, into the villa. And same with Justine. Justine did the same thing, and people said the same thing about her. They didn't like her because she cried too much. These people have broken down the most confident, like, this situation has broken down the most confident Black women in the show. I mean, even Trina, and I'm no fan of Trina right now, but even she admitted that what she did was because her insecurities came back out, which we've said. And people are like, oh, she's not insecure. I'm like, no, everything she's done, you can tell, is coming from an insecure place. Cash has been absolutely the strongest person for not just herself, but for everybody else. At this point, how much more can you take without breaking down?
Absolutely. It's like not feeling wanted. She even says, like, she thinks that everybody's mentality is, oh, I'll just go for Cash because she's easier. And I'm just like, to have that feeling like, oh, she cries a lot. Well, like, imagine you feeling like unwanted, unloved, uncared about constantly, and you're always there for everybody else, but nobody's ever there for you. And you're always supporting everybody else's relationship, but they don't care about yours. And like, it doesn't feel great. And eventually there's a tipping point, because like, and you can say that because you haven't experienced that. And
Right.
I can't say that because I have been Cash in many situations in my lifetime. And so I feel for her 100% because I know what it's like to not feel wanted or not seem to have anybody that's interested in you. And yeah, I may come across as confident and, you know, that I know how to get what I want and whatnot. But there's a time when it's a little bit too much when you're just like, well, what about me? Like, why don't I get to have my love story? You know what I mean? So
Yes,
I get
agree.
it. I totally feel for Cash. Hi, Kanisha. Wait, so I'm sick of seeing. Oh, the weird kisses from Shannon. Yes, Kanisha, right there with me. I said this the other day, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a montage of all of her kisses, and I'm going to put it in the shorts. I couldn't remember. I was going to text you because I was like, what did I say I was going to do? It was that, right, Tamika? Was make a montage of her kisses?
Oh, did you say that? Oh my God! Please don't.
I'm going to.
They're
Because
weird.
it's so gross. Okay, so set the rhythm of Shannon's kiss. So you're saying her kisses were offbeat, Chantele? Yeah, I think that they did. It was like I don't know what that sexual rhythm is. Like, not my style. It's weird. I feel Florina's friend will probably understand at the end of the day it's a show. But I wanted them to come out with the story. I feel like it's a reach to say that because Trina's complimented Olivia's pole performance that she's trying to take Cash's friends now. I don't think it's that separate incident. I think it's compounded with her actions, how she's talks about Cash, saying that she's immature now, and like, you know, I think she wants what Cash has, and that is also her friends. And so I think that now she's with Cinco, she's able to have these conversations with Shannon now, you know, that she has a man, and I see it. It's not just that one incident. I think it's everything compounded. So I don't even think about that. Imagine watching your best friend and your ex getting together on national television every night, unless conversation was had beforehand. Maybe they knew that they both were going to be there.
I can see that.
Okay, so Leanne wasn't smart, in my opinion. Why did she expect Cinco to choose her? Cinco just left a triangle. Ain't no way he's just going to pick her after all the drama.
I need somebody to name who else she was supposed to go after and that it was generally going to work. If she went after Corey, then she would overstep her friend. And I don't see her and Corey having anything. Like, they don't have the correct personality. I think she could have went to Giovanni, but Giovanni is all up about Olivia. So anybody she would have gone into, she would have been creating a triangle.
Yeah.
So who, like, and Amy and Jeremy and Isaiah and Cash and Roxy are all in like a rectangle, octagonal, whatever. Like, who was she supposed to go on after?
Yeah, her original intention was Cinco, so it was always, I think it was just always going to be him.
She said that she was fine with it. Like she's like, I came and did what I wanted to do. He was the only person that I wanted. I put it all on the table, and she was okay with going home. Mm-hmm. And she met Cash, and I think she was very fine with how her Love Island experience could, like, I think we as fans were upset because we would have loved her to stay on and still be friends with Cash. But at the end of the day, there was the timing was not right for Leanne. If they had time together, they should have brought her in at Casa Amor.
Maybe she'll be back. Who knows? They could shake things up.
Right.
Give her another opportunity to be like, I really want to try for Cinco again. Like when he's like maybe more open to. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Okay, so I think that Leanne should have focused on Giovanni or even boring Jeremy.
I wouldn't have voted for Jeremy, so I would have set my ass home.
Right? No. Big Greg, I agree. I feel Leanne should have at least tried with Giovanni. That would have been her best bet.
Like, what is Giovanni doing to tell people that he actually wants somebody else other than Olivia? I need somebody to show me.
Yeah,
that.
Nobody. Not yet. Not right now. Yeah. He might get a little bit nervous though if Slade comes in and takes her on a date because he already doesn't have a
shaken, but she just chose him in the last recoupling. He has loyalty to her. He was never he is not that type of person. He was never going to dump Olivia unless she gave him something to make him dump her.
So Big Red says about the repetition thing with Isaiah. Remember, we only see a short part of the conversation. They said that they had compared notes. It could be way more. I mean, I think that it was just the way that it was presented looked shady. And I don't think, and I agree with you with the timeline of how things happened. It's very plausible that he said similar things because that was what was true in the moment. I agree. So I agree, Tamika, everything was in sequence exactly to when he talked to them. He said that to Amy and Roxy since he talked to Cash. I don't think so. Shannon was trying to start a mess. Yep.
Yeah. He basically said to Amy, I'm still interested in you. You look pretty. He didn't say, oh, but I still feel like we have the strongest connection out of you, me, and Rock, you, me and Cash, and me and Roxy, and me and you. I think you and I have the strongest connection. He didn't say that to Roxy. He said to Roxy, you really opened up my eyes of what, you could be. You gave me some more food for thought. But he said to Cash, like, I'm really feeling you right now. That is what he said. And I'm glad that she confronted him because I think if she hadn't, it would have done herself a disservice. And I also think it also strengthened their relationship because he knows that she will come to him with whatever she's feeling, even if it means that it's something that he's done. And so he said how he felt in the conversation, and she, took it for what it was. I think she had right to feel hurt because I think they shook her confidence that he could want her. And I don't feel like it's fair. And I see it even on Twitter that people are basically, I feel like people keep making it seem like nobody could want Cash. Like it's absolutely impossible that a Cinco could want Cash, that an Isaiah could want Cash, that anybody coming into the villa could want Cash in any way, shape, or possible. And that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Natasha. So Natasha says Shannon and Trina are not nice people. They have attention seekers and want all eyes on them. They are jealous of Cash's ability to be genuine. I see this to be true.
I agree.
That's the vibe I get.
That's been the vibe I got from them since the beginning. I tried to give them both the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. Shannon slightly changed my mind when she was hanging out with Cash. Since she's been hanging out with Trina, she's been a little more back to how I feel like she is.
So Lisa just watched the drop on the CBS app as well. The drop in Laid Bare on the CBS app. Okay, I don't usually use the CBS app, but maybe I could do that and stream it to I actually have Paramount Plus, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So, what do we think about the rumor of Will and the girl? I don't remember what her name is. She's coupled up with him. Kira. Consider the fact they know each other. That's I don't even care. Who cares?
Everybody keeps making like so many people on Twitter. It's like y'all are mad at Trina and Cinco when they have a genuine connection, and y'all aren't mad at Will and Kira for trying to scam us. And I'm like, I don't care about either one of them. If they came on here to scam us for the money, just don't vote for them. That doesn't say that I have.
I'm not voting for that couple to win. Most likely.
Yeah.
They don't have it for me. I like them separately. Kira's a little bit boring, but she's becoming a little bit more out of her shell.
Yeah.
Will, I find him attractive. I'm happy that he's being committed to Kira, seemingly. And so
the girls in the Laid Bare episode said that basically they want all the guys to be like him. So he must be a good partner in the villa. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not seeing their connection. I think it's fake, but that's just me.
Yeah, I just won't vote for them though. If I don't, I'll vote for the couple that I would want to win the money the most. Yeah. And if it's not them, it's not them. So hopefully Cash can have a guy who will come in for her specifically. Don't we all? Don't we all? Doesn't Cash? That's what Cash wants. That's all she wants. Someone that comes in that wants her. I don't really care that Will and Carrie knew each other. At first, I hated it and then tried to scam us. But now I'm just like, you still have to make us like you, whether you know each other or not. Exactly. So Charlene says, Wes and Slade will have been fighting for attention for sure, except Cash, I feel.
I feel that too. I definitely can see Trina checking them out. I can definitely see Shannon checking them out. I can see Amy checking them out. I'm pretty sure most of the people actually voted for Amy to go on one of those dates on the vote. I definitely see Cash trying to see what her and Isaiah have and focusing on that. If somebody sends her on the date, I don't think she'll not explore it, but I think she'll give her most of her attention to Isaiah right now.
I think she'll focus and she'll be committed to that focus. I agree.
Yeah.
Hi, Denasia. Thanks for joining us. When Casamore comes along, Trina will leave him ASAP. I mean, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Trina tried to get in, like you said, Tamika, with Mr. Wes.
Yeah.
Mr. Wes is a good job, or he's like smart. I think he's very attractive.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that we can't tell about Cinco is that he's very tall. And I think that Wes looks to me like he's really tall as well. So I don't think that Trina would allow anybody else having the best looking man in the villa other than her. So I could see her, I thought we're just still working things out.
Yeah. I mean, well, technically, based on the Laidbeard episode, Cinco is basically like, oh, we're not in an exclusive relationship here. He told her that how she acted with Jeremy was red flags, and he wants to make sure that they understand each other.
I love that he told her that she's a red flag.
Yeah, he's like that. The possessiveness and the trying to make us exclusive before we're exclusive. I'm not here for it. And we saw that even with the conversations with Leanne, he was still open to Leanne. So if Trina decides to be open with this guy, I think he's gonna be fine with it, but he's not gonna trust her.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably just trying to create a storyline. Like, oh my God, everybody wants me. Yep. The usual. Okay, so not that the schedules. Sorry. I think because we're in the UK, the schedule times confuse me, but we don't have access to Paramount Plus, I think anyways. Yeah, as far as I know, Paramount Plus is only available if it's purchased by somebody in the US, and then maybe you can get access to that with a VPN.
Yeah, I think I read that. Do you guys have access to the CBS app? Because basically then you would be on a 1 day delay. But
no matter what, though, when it airs, there would be in the future. So it'd be like you guys are 5 hours ahead right now, so it would air at 2 a.m. So you'd probably wait till the morning anyway. So you might be okay with just watching it like as soon as it comes out the next morning. It might work out for you by the time you wake up. Hello. Okay, so how do we feel about the rumors? Okay, no, we talked about that. It doesn't bother us really. It seems like whoever is with Cash will win the show because of the fans, and if they might not, even if they might have a strong connection. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think she has a lot of support, and so it could be. Go ahead.
So yesterday there was a vibe check that they did on their app. Let me see what it said.
So while you're looking for that, I want to see more of a combo and substance. At the moment, Cash is the one who truly delivers. Absolutely. She's like, her whole storyline is the only thing that's drawing this whole show right now. So that's why I definitely think that Trina is going to try to make it about her with these new men coming in.
Oh, did they delete it? It was like, who would you miss the most if they went home? And it's 64.4% cachet. Nobody is close. No, everybody else is close. Yeah, Trina's 2.2%. The closest person is Shannon at 10%.
Wow.
And Kira at 7%. Nobody else was close. So right now, Cash is the show. So if they want somebody else to win the money, they have. I think that's why they're trying to wait out and let these couples settle in, and maybe we will find another couple more.
Right now, it's about Cash's journey.
It's not working. Like I'm not seeing it from all these other couples. Like Shannon and Josh, they should not be together. Like and I can see both of them dumping each other after Castle Moore. Will and Kira are just boring. Like I wish that I wouldn't mind Will and Kira winning only for representation's sake, but they're just boring and they have no passion. Like it just feels like a faux relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
I don't see any spark. Like they do, I think they are into each other. I know you don't really see it, but I do think that they are into each other enough. And
oh no, I think they're into each other. I just don't see the chemistry is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
it's just a little bit like
yeah. They're just boring. And then Trina and Cinco, it's the opposite. Like you see they probably have the most passion, but there's no
substance.
Why there's no substance. So it's like, why am I voting for them? They're not a real couple. They're going to fizzle out.
Yeah. So Wes is here to shake up the strong couples. Let's see who's really committed. You got this. All right, I'm here for it because right now I think that Cash will be saved no matter what. So you know what I mean? I think she's in the show till the end. I do think she'll make it. It'll be about her journey. I think it was this recoupling ceremony where they had said, like when the announcer said, or the text anyways, it said 2 islanders may be dumped from the island.
Have a risk being dumped from the island.
Yes.
And so we know what our speculation is always that they make them tell them who they're going to choose.
Exactly.
And that if they're trying to
save somebody,
exactly, they won't do a dumping.
Exactly. Because I was like, wait, they said at risk in the text, but then when Ariel came into the picture, she said will be dumped. So I'm like, that's what I was like, okay, that means Cash is staying for sure. Isaiah's shooting Cash because they wanted to have an out in case they wanted to save Cash. Yep. So you caught that too.
And then notice that it was 2 new guys for 2 dates, and we could pick. I think they did that just in case they needed to send the 2 new girls, like how they've done in the UK, where the 2 single girls get the next 2 dates with the next 2 bombshells, and then they let them pick one other person to go on those dates. I think that's exactly how they would have played it.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. They did that with Amber on season 5. That I can just think of off the top of my head. They just did it now in the UK. I'm ready for it too. Cash is here to say yes, Natalie King. Yes, Natalie King. So will the new boys be coming into the villa tonight? I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to make a t-shirt saying something on it. Oh, you're right. Thanks, Natasha. Sexuality isn't a personality.
Sexuality, my line, sexuality is not a personality. We'll have to get some t-shirts printed up.
I mean, I'm down. I'll make some t-shirts. Not going to lie. Okay, so please, why was Cinco giving Leanne false hope before the recoupling? Makes no sense. I think it must have been the producers had to make it not seem super obvious who people were going to be choosing. That's the only thing.
And I do think he generally liked her. She was vibes.
And I think he just felt like he just didn't want to be involved in any more mess. Like he felt bad, I think, already.
Yeah. I don't think he would have been happy choosing somebody else if it messed up the vibe in the villa for him. I think he just wanted a smooth thing. So we'll see. I don't see him and Trina as set, and they could be set, but I don't see them as set. I don't see them as like the next Justine and Caleb, where they're going to ride this to the 100K. They're going to overtake the best couple who was Johnny and Sally and Ride This to the 100K now that they're couple up. I think the producers want us to believe that. Like, I generally think the producers like this Trina Cinco thing. First of all, because of the drama of it. Second of all, because they're two beautiful Black people. And third of all, because, you know, they want that representation of love to go to the end. But I don't think they understand that it wasn't played properly, and that I don't think it was ever going to play properly because the person involved is Trina.
Yes, Destinasia. So we also agree with you that we're suffering from PTSD from Caleb. Well, not me specifically because I wasn't buying it, but I'm suffering from PTSD from how people were coming for me.
No.
Like, I had cried to my mom once from the comments that I was getting from people about not seeing the vibe in their relationship. Oh my goodness, I can't even go there. Like, that was traumatic for me. Just being honest as an observer.
I didn't see it at first.
And then you allowed yourself to fall into it.
But once he came back from Casa Amor and chose her, yes, I did see it. And yes, I have PTSD, and I understand it. And it's also the producer's fault for choosing about four or five different mixed race male to be in the villa. And so that's all that everybody. But again, it also comes from a place where, why do people think that cash is not the prize here? Why do people think that cash is not? It's ridiculous.
Well, because she's not the typical prize, right? Like, my mom was even saying, I talked about this first episode, it's like, wow, like, we've come so far to see a woman feeling confident and being cast on a show with a shaved head. She's like, I didn't even really think that it's possible that this would be on a dating show like this be a thing. And so she's impressed by that. So yes, I do think that they are also people that are products of our culture, that cash aesthetically wouldn't be the prize and the star of the show. Like, they don't get it. But they do see that she has a shine and a sparkle and a genuine vibe, the confidence, and they want to get that. And that's why I think they're trying to take what's Cash is, even though Cash is just being herself. She's not even staking claims on anything, but they want what Cash has so they can maybe be like Cash.
Yeah,
I think it's subconscious.
Yeah, so this is true.
A lot of it.
I was going through my Twitter, and I noticed that, like, some places I had, like, blocked comments, and so I, like, you say view comments, and it was from people that I know I blocked because that they were nasty about Justine and her appearance. And so now when you look at the comments, they're saying very similar things about Cash.
Cash? Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw a post where Cash fans would cancel the show if they would have been voted out. I think that helps either way for Cash, Cachet, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're going to let them. They're going to let them. Sorry, saw the next one.
Yeah, they're going to bring in somebody for Cash. If Isaiah and her don't work out, or like if he had to choose her, because they were like, oh, you don't have that strong of a connection for Roxy, so choose Cash, and then we'll bring in somebody for you, and we'll bring in somebody for Cash. They'll bring in somebody for Cash, and make sure she stays on the show.
Sarah, like, I was reading your comment and I got distracted. Thanks for joining, Sarah. I'm going to be talking to Sarah from Nerdtainment in about an hour and a half's time about Survivor South Africa. Yes, sexuality is not a personality. Those are my t-shirts that are going to be made with Tamika's little signature on the bottom because it's such a great line. But thanks for joining us. Are you watching Love Island, Sarah? I'm so sorry, Chantele. I was one of the people last season. That's true. Man. People are coming for me. Coming. Is there going to be a drop today? I don't think so.
I think they're on Tuesdays.
Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, you're not watching it? It's pretty good. But I think you prefer competitive reality series. I know that you don't watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I watch those too. But Love Island US this season is pretty good. It's worth the watch, but it's on every day, so it's a big commitment. Love Island stands are ruthless sometimes. Yeah, they are. It's kind of like chill. It is still for money, and these people are here for like the publicity, and like they're here to gain some stuff and hopefully fall in love. So we should like hold back a little bit from some of our hate, but not for Trina. A difference of opinion shouldn't result in hostility. I'm sorry you dealt with that, Chantele. I know. I mean, it's okay. I got over it, but I definitely cried at least 2 times about like some of the comments that people were saying, because then people started attacking me with their opinions and saying like the reasons why I was thinking this way was because like I was racist and that I was like I didn't like that Justine was going to be happy, and like they're just going against me, and I'm like, that's not it at all. Anyways, so that's what I went through, but it is different now. What else happened in this episode? So Jeremy says to Florida that the whole Amy thing, which was like completely ridiculous, like about him like thinking that they're on a friendship level. And I'm just like, I think he was saying that because he wanted maybe Florida to be interested in him or maybe pick him. But like, he's not saying that to Amy at all. He's saying like, no, I think that we're really good together. We're in a good place. It's like,
I don't know. It's like he wants the person to focus on him, but then when they focus on him, he wants to pull another girl, which is just, I don't know. I don't like him.
We were not fans. This is when Cash confronts Isaiah. I did like this conversation. I thought he held his ground really well. And I think like Cash was allowing herself just to be like, hey, like maybe he does like me. So let me just like not automatically assume that he doesn't. And so I'm happy that she's, regardless of his intentions, she's like letting that wall down and just like seeing what happens. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Florida does say in the change room about the whole Jeremy thing. I wish that she just might have said something directly to Amy, but they're not that close yet. So she's probably just trying to make some TV. Okay, so yeah, that's what I wrote. It said at risk, the text. And so I told him, it was like, I caught it. I caught them. But yeah, so basically nothing really surprising happening at the recoupling ceremony. Will, he wakes up thinking about this person. You're like, okay, we know that you're picking Kira. Josh, it's my best friend is in this house and I want to recouple up with this person because like they make me happy, blah, blah, blah. Shannon. Jeremy, I don't know what he said about Amy. I just wrote down Amy. Cinco. We've had a couple of rough patches. Like, that's what you call that, a rough patch? Like, man, that was more than a rough patch, I would say. He picks Trina, no surprise. And then Giovanni. Pardon?
Trina looked terrible. She looked like a grandma. What was she wearing? Her styling is just weird. Yeah.
Not great. I don't remember what she was wearing. I probably blocked it out.
It was like this dress. It was like a wraparound. I don't know if maybe it might be her stature. It just made her look like an old like grandma. Like it was a long dress with a tie around the back, and then she had her hair up in like a ponytail, like fluffy wide ponytail. I just was not a fan. I was not a fan.
I'm gonna go back and look because I do not remember what she looked like. And then Cash, Roxy, and Leanne were the only ones left. And let's see if I can read. I wrote out Isaiah's speech. Mm-hmm. So if I can read my writing, because I'm not wearing glasses right now. Every time I'm around her, a smile comes out of my mouth. She is bold, confident, sassy. Most amazing girl. She makes me feel like I'm wanted, and I'm heard. Oh yes, and I'm heard. She makes me feel like something could progress further, and she's also has such an infectious personality, not only with me but with everyone in this villa. I'm really getting to know her even more and building a relationship with her moving forward. This was not an easy decision, but I feel confident with her, and I feel that me and her actually have a future together, and I'm really, really excited.
Yeah. And I think that was based on that conversation that she had with him. Like, and I also think it's also the conversation he had with Cinco, because I think somebody had said somewhere else that, oh, I didn't like that he didn't say she was beautiful, but I think he had to let her know she was wanted. And that's basically what Cinco told him, like, be straight in the front and let her know that she is wanted.
So Ms. Love says her dress was cultural. However, there are more flattering styles that she could have chosen, especially.
Yes, I love the pattern. It wasn't the pattern. It was the style. It like squatted her, and she it just made her age.
Okay, I'm not a fan of the coupling of Giovanni and I'm always scared when you're going to comment Jaquan and Olivia, but I think his speech was the best one than Isaiah. I mean, I did like his speech. I'm just worried that he's wasting his breath on Olivia right now. And so it's like he's saying these nice words and like saying that breaking down walls and like she's finally letting me in and we're having these moments. But just like I don't know if she fully is there, you know? So I just kind of feel like it's wasted.
I'm just not I just don't see I would feel like better if I felt like she was putting effort in between recoupling. But she's not been, so like I don't know.
Facts.
I mean, when she cried on the episode. Did you see that part where she was crying and because she said nobody wanted her in the villa? And I'm like, but and even Matthew Hoffman was like, even though Giovanni has expressed multiple times that he wants you, it's because that's not who she wants.
Yeah. She's also kind of experiencing similar to Cash, that people are not coming in her that want her, that she wants. Right. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the problem, is that she's not interested in Giovanni, even though he's trying really hard to be who she wants, like who she would like to be with. I just wish that she was into him, but I just also don't think that she is at all.
It's definitely another Mora situation, because I think that's what happened with her and Calvin. I think she placated Calvin to the end because he came home and unfriended her. and I think she just strung him along, and it annoyed him. Yeah.
Okay, so the recoupling speeches were terrible. Trina is no fashionista. That look did age her. Not a fan of her style. Yeah, her style and the clothes that she brought. I'm just kind of like, if I was going on Love Island or Big Brother or something where like they'd be seeing my wardrobe on a regular basis, I would take out a loan to go buy a completely brand new wardrobe to look fire in every scenario. Like, see, whether it's sense. That's what I would do.
That makes sense. I don't think I've heard anybody say that they did that. Everybody said like they brought their, their best Shein and their best boohoos.
I mean, maybe it's like, or if there's some couple things in my closet that I like, I'm gonna bring. But like, I would bring brand new clothes. Like, it's just like, for sure. Okay. Oh, Divide Me, don't worry. I'm so sorry they had to go through a rough time last season, because between us, it was just joking. I love to be here, especially because it is a respectful group of people in this vlog. Oh, I mean, like, it's all totally fine. It's just kind of like anything compounded, as we talked about with Cash, like crying over, the situation. It's like, I'm fine. I can take it. I'm strong. Like, I'm not going to cower, and especially if it's just my opinion, and like people really shouldn't care that much about my opinion. But just every once in a while, there's a comment that breaks the camel's back, and you get affected. But it's no big deal. And I find it almost hilarious that so much up in arms can happen over an opinion about a relationship on a TV show. It's fine. Don't worry, Divide Me. It's all good. This is all a learning experience. We've never really had this many Black people on our TV screens, and so having these conversations is brand new, and learning how to speak to each other about issues that we're seeing is a brand new area that we are investigating. So whatever comes out of it, I think it's all positive and all beneficial that we're having these conversations in general. So don't worry if like a couple times I got my feelings hurt. It was just that's a me thing. I'm more than happy to have these conversations, and have my opinion be heard, because also even just both me and Tamika being here right now, this wasn't that common to see two Black women talking about a show, even on YouTube. YouTube is so oversaturated with people of other backgrounds, and we don't really get that many opportunities on YouTube either. So it's all good, all good, all
and I
good.
I really wish I could root for Trina and Cinco. I really wish I could.
Of course, we were like, I hadn't even posted yet that little video with Cinco and Cash when he was like cuddling her and being like, you still, you're annoying me though, or you still, whatever he said. It was just a cute moment when they were cuddling, and I was gonna post that on my thing, and I'm like, oh, it's not even worth it anymore, like posting that. So yeah,
so I that's what I'm saying. So I'm hoping that maybe they can turn it around. I'm not seeing it. It's still like day 3 or 4. Maybe they will bring some sort of personality to their relationship. I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to like them both. Like I loved Cinco when he was with Set Cash, and I was on Trina's side with how Jeremy treated her. I was definitely on Trina's side.
That's what I'm saying. I was so excited because I was like, okay, so Trina has the ability then to go after Cinco if she wants to. I just don't like the way she did it. Like,
and then talk about her after it.
Yeah, and like wait until the next morning and tell Cash, listen, it's on. I'm going to go after him. It was like day 3. I definitely know Cash wouldn't have said anything. What really messed it up was her like sneaking and trying to kiss him and trying to do stuff, basically disrespecting the fact that he was building something with Cash.
I'm with you, Reggie. I'm still not over Trina calling Cash immature. I don't know if it's just me. No, it's not just you. It's it's me and it's Tamika for sure. I was so angry when she said that. I was like, you, excuse me? She needs to have a little bit of a reality check. A little bit. I think they ended some of the speeches. Idea's speech seemed like the only one that put some effort into it.
Yeah. I mean, last season we were told that the speeches were long. And Justine used to say that Caleb's speeches were really long, but they were like super sweet. And so it's kind of like those things that we were seeing. So, you know, we never know what actually is being said in total. And that's the other thing that we have to keep in mind on both sides, you know, on both the people we love and also the people that we're like, okay, I'm not so sure, because I actually, and I will, so to make this not so much of a Trina hate show, I will give Trina props. When she had that conversation on the Laid Beard episode with Will, she admitted that she was coming from an insecure place. She admitted it. And so that was all I wanted. I still don't appreciate her gaslighting Cash. I still don't appreciate a lot of the stuff that she did. But at least she understood why she was doing what she was doing. And that's for her to hopefully, when she watches this back and she sees the things that she does and she understands why people are not happy with her. Because I think somebody said they turned off the comments on her IG page because she was getting so much hate.
Probably.
I think once she sees it back, I hope that she will be a changed person and not do this going forward.
I can see her like
justifying it.
Yeah, I mean, like we're in there to find love, and I was in there finding I can see her having that.
Too. I can see her justifying it. I can see her like unfollowing Cash. I can see a lot of I can see it happening. But I'm hoping that she will take this as a learning experience when she gets up.
So Divine Me agrees with you that she wishes that they could love Cinco and Trina, but I've never trusted Trina. Yes, Trina. Yes, I don't like the way she's moving. Not at all. So that was pretty much the end of the episode. We see Ariel say, like, I feel like I just got to know you guys when she's saying goodbye to Roxy and Leanne, which is true. They've been there for like, what, 1 sleep, 2 sleeps? So you didn't get a chance to know them. I don't understand what their schedule is with like this rotation, but they're doing what they're doing.
I really think they threw the timing for Leanne, Roxy, and Florida off. I think, you know, maybe if they had another day, it might have made an impact for others to get to know them. Maybe not. or not bring in both of them, bring in two, I mean, three of them, bring in two of them, and save one person for Casa Amor. But it is what it is. I'm glad everybody got to meet Leanne and learn about Leanne, because I think she's awesome. I followed her on IG. She actually has more followers than Cash, surprisingly. So that means she already had a higher number of followers as it was. But I still think she's fire, and I think she's awesome. And somebody had said last episode, do we think that Cash is in love with Leanne? Now we found out from the late Beard episode
Oh
that
yes, Cash is open to women.
experiences, so we never know. But I think they actually probably came out of it at least lifelong friends.
I think so, yeah. Especially doing any publicity and stuff like that after the show, and like, you know, interviews and meet and greets. Like, they'll definitely be hanging out more, and you end up, it's part of your family. Like, you've shared an experience. Like, you'll always be friends with people that you've connected to, I believe. So.
Yeah.
So with the Laid Bear episode, not that much went on it. Like, the first 15 minutes was all the intros of the cast, and I was like, wait, I've already seen all of these. What, like, I wanted more. Like, what is this? Like, are they trying to get people that have only watched this show on Paramount Plus to get them up to speed? And then they did a
kind of like that, like a get up to speed, because the first like at least 20 minutes was them recapping what had already happened.
Exactly. So the only like other things, so we don't talk like for a gazillion hours. So I was like, why are they showing us like all the stuff we've already seen before? I was like, this is annoying. So I started fast forwarding a bit. Mm-hmm. They showed the second blow game, and there's a couple other things. We see Jeremy and Trina eat, double-sided eating a banana. We see Josh and Giovanni licking whipped cream off of her arm. Giovanni was faster, so she kissed Shannon. Cash getting bleeped out because she was saying the P word.
she said Will's accent made her hot, basically.
Yes, Will's accent made her hot. Made her kitty purr.
Yeah.
Shannon, we see Shannon not being able to say the word dangerous liaisons. I was just like, whoa, like, what's going on? Like, I mean, it's a French word, so I get it, but I guess that she's also really young, so maybe just never ever seen it before. But I'm just like, it just seems like it's a common phrase, or that, you know, there's the movie, there's the books. Like, I just can't imagine not knowing how to say it. But she's also like half my age. To see that Cash is open to relationships with men and women, that she's been in threesomes. We learned that Giovanni has actually been in juvenile hall, where he was kind of in a friend group where he was kind of led into the wrong people, and people were blaming him for a lot of different things, which was really sad, because sometimes when kids get into juvenile hall, it's like, it's not their mistake, it's just their environment. And like, so I felt for Giovanni there.
Cash fears wiener dogs.
Oh yeah, that's next. I just totally wrote that down too. Cash fears wiener dogs. Like, people are scared of spiders. She thinks that they're really weird. Their bodies are too weird. Like, she freaks her out.
I thought it was funny that during the pineapple game, did you see that one, the bobbing for pineapples?
Keep going. I can't remember.
Okay. So they had to do different challenges from the pineapples that they picked. And I thought it was funny that Cinco chose Cash, of course, and then he let Cash choose who else.
Oh, the three-way kiss, which was Shannon.
Yeah, which was Shannon, because she said Shannon had gone, Josh had gone on a date, and she was trying to uplift Shannon's spirits. But I was like, he could have chose Trina. Yeah, if he wanted.
But she was locked in with Jeremy there. That's what her decision was at that time.
Exactly. And Amy and Josh were flirting really hard. I see now why Shannon was pissed, because they were flirting.
Corey picked Amy for being the biggest gossip, because I guess he wanted to kiss her. Mm-hmm. Best list was also Amy, and Giovanni also kissed her.
Yeah.
Then we see Roxy and Isaiah have a conversation about tequila cows.
Which was funny.
It was funny. I mean, I love tequila, so I would love it. I don't drink milk, so if my cows gave out tequila, I'd be into it, as long as it's like very high-end tequila. And then I said, look at them trying to make Trina look vulnerable. And what happened? That's all I wrote down.
You can't you
With
can
Will.
change, yeah, you can change but so much of a person's personality in editing. I mean,
yes, but she must have had a conversation with Will that I blocked out. Is it the one that you were just talking about? Oh yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's where when she was saying to Will about like how she was doing it because she was insecure. That was me thinking that the producers put that in there, the editors, because they wanted to make people not like you. Even you right now said like I have to give her respect for the fact that she admitted that. I think that they're trying to get her into people's good graces again. Right. But I don't think it will work.
Why I take it, but so far as she basically used Cash and the Cinco situation to build herself back up. So no. Like you don't get to do that.
No, not at all. And then the conversation where Cinco says that he saw red flags with Jeremy. He's saying this to Trina, which we talked about already. And then Giovanni tells Cinco about Cash and Trina. What was that?
Yeah, so it's the conversation. He basically says, "You think that Trina is more passion, but Cash is
more
better
fun,
personality, more fun, better ass. Trina is and Cash is so he's like, I think Cash is more your speed. You should choose Cash. I don't know why you feel like this is a big thing." And that was right after Cash and him were in the bathroom, and she told him to come in the shower.
Yeah. Okay, so last couple of questions. So Trina looks like a deer in headlights being on the show. This is just not for her. Way out of a fairy tale world. Yes, I mean, I think that she wants probably some sponsorship deals and like, different. I think she wants all of that. I do think she probably wants to find a relationship. She hasn't been in one for 5 years, if I remember correctly. So I don't know if this is the right show for her, but I don't know.
Like you said, I think, well, I mean, she would have lost the money. I don't know. If it was about the money, either way, she didn't go about it right, because I think you had said maybe Too Hot to Handle would have been better for her. Or...
Yeah, where it's just kind of like you can just be with whomever. I don't know if this is the right environment either. Yeah, I agree with you, T. And all Cash wanted was for Cinco and Trina to be up front with her. I know, so easy. So easy. And so easy that we're going to come in before 2 hours of talking about the show. Yay! So please tell me, Tamika, tell everybody that's joining us here today where we can find you online.
So as I say, you can find me Entertainment in Color on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll be there for all your promoting of all our favorite People of Color projects, favorite reality shows, scripted shows as we go forward. So check it out.
Check it out. And you guys know the drill, but if you haven't done so already, please subscribe right down over there. We just want to build a community of people that love reality TV as much as we do, especially even the trashy reality TV like Love Island, Big Brother. But Big Brother's not that trashy. It's competitive, so it has a little bit of another element. But, The Bachelorette, Love Island, I will probably cover F-Boy Island. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. People are making fun of me, but they're like, are you going to cover, what was it called, Sexy Beasts? I don't know if I can do that one. Have you seen it?
I don't know. I saw the preview. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm like, where is the second season of Love is Blind? Why are you doing it?
Thanks, Jaquan. Thank you, T. Love everybody in this chat room as well. I really appreciate you guys always showing up to be part of the conversation, and you as well, Tamika. It's been great talking about this. We do have a day off, so we won't see you then again until, I guess it would be Monday. So yeah, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back to talk about Love Island USA. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing Love Island UK. And if you guys are watching Survivor South Africa, please join me and Sarah it's going to be on my channel as well, but from Nerdtainment, And we will be talking about episode 9, I think it is, of Survivor South Africa. So come and join us. It's a fun time. And we'll see everybody else on Monday. Bye.